Welcome back, everybody. I'm Kira Klingon, and leading us into the next hour, I'd like to begin with a question. And that is, what do American icons Henry Ford, Route 66, and the Golden Gate Bridge have in common? The answer, it's transparent, often imported, and highly taxed. It's that those three American staples have gained recognition for needing gasoline. And if you've been to the pump lately, you've probably realized there's a reason that crude oil is spelled with rude. Those prices can do a whopping number to your wallet.
I can afford the gas for my luxury limousine.
Every day, Americans drive over 11 billion miles. That's like giving every single American a car and having them spend 55 minutes behind the wheel, driving 40 miles every single day. With an average fuel economy in the US for four-wheeled vehicles being a measly 20.6 miles per gallon and gas causing a national average of 376 per gallon, that's $7.52 per person per day, or $2,744.80 per person per year. And these costs are increasing. In 2004, the average gas price was $1.90. Assuming an inflation rate of 2% as set by the Federal Reserve over 8 years, gas prices today, according to the 2004 figure, should be just over $2. So why the difference between expected value due to inflation and actual price? The answer lies in the complex interplay of supply, demand, monetary and fiscal policy, and the politics of the large and legal public oil cartel known as OPEC, or the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. OPEC was founded in 1960 by 5 countries, 4 in the Middle East and 1 in South America, in response to growing demand for gasoline and increasingly wavering prices. This global group was meant to secure the prices of crude oil, a key component of petrol, or as we know it, gasoline, as well as diesel fuel and even jet fuel for all cartel members. Today, they control over 70% of the crude oil capabilities of the world and over 40% of the production capabilities. No other cartel, nor even group, comes close. So how do countries halfway across the world control what we pay at the pump? They control the majority of the world's supply of the oil, while we, for the most part, set our own demand. For instance, in the spring and summer, when there's more travel, demand often rises. This leads to higher gas prices. However, there are other times, like in war, when the supply of oil, specifically when there's war in the Middle East, can increase, or when the political motives of the OPEC cartel believe that higher gas prices would stifle U.S. intervention in war. Then, prices will rise, not due to a change in demand or supply, but simply due to the political motivations of the OPEC cartel. And, because they control the supply, they can do this. Another reason why price of oil, and therefore gas, can increase is because, in many ways, the price of gas is a speculation sport. Commodities traders trade oil futures, which are essentially commodities in which oil is the commodity, and they sell and buy futures contracts for a specific date in the future at a specific price. This means that commodities traders can say that the price of oil per gallon or per barrel will be over $100 at a certain point, because when $100 is the benchmark for oil, gas prices may rise to actually hit this mark. So therefore, while supply and demand have not increased, no changes have been made to the demand or supply curves, the prices change simply due to these trades. Unfortunately, sometimes these bidding and price wars create acid bubbles, in which the supply of oil is not actually as great as the demand. But who pays for this? The consumer. The consumer pays not only for the actual oil, which is crude oil, which accounts for about 72% of the price, but they also pay for taxes. Fiscal policy alleviates taxes on gas. This is why there are sometimes changes in price between different gas stations in different states. State taxes are charged to protect the roads, and while there's no federal tax, there are state taxes. Adding to governmental intervention, the U.S. does operate some refineries, and economic confidence can be a great measure of how oil and gas prices will or will not increase. If a U.S. refinery is closed and jobs are lost, many times there will be an increase in gas prices. Also, certain benchmarks are measured, such as oil being $100 per barrel, And when these benchmarks are met, the price of gas will probably rise because it's expected to due to the commodity trading. Oil price futures have currently been declining due to the recession, meaning that the demand for oil is less as people can afford less and less gas. However, due to a tense war climate and the value of the dollar, which is declining due to inflation, we can be assured that gas prices will probably rise. One thing that we do have to look forward to is the political business cycle intervention. This is because Barack Obama's re-election may or may not occur in November, and therefore, he is very much at an advantage if he lowers gas prices. Therefore, in the coming months, we will likely see Democrats attempt to alleviate the costs on American families of gas prices. This way, they can be sure that their president wins re-election in November. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you now have a better understanding about how gas prices are affected by the political business cycle, fiscal and monetary policy, the buying and selling of oil futures on the commodities market, and consumer confidence. Thanks, and have a great rest of your hour.